Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that's literally going to transform how you approach software development. It's the ultimate beginner's guide to Codex. Our goal here is pretty simple, but honestly, it's incredibly powerful. We're going to take you from being a manual, line-by-line coder and turn you into a full-blown AI workflow operator using OpenAI Codex. So, if you're ready to stop typing out every single character and start, actually directing an intelligent system, well, you're in exactly the right place. Let's get into it. To kick things off, let's talk about the core philosophy driving this whole shift. There's a quote that really hits the nail on the head. Codex works best when you treat it less like a one-off assistant and more like a teammate you configure and improve over time. You've got to completely reset your expectations around this single idea. It's the absolute secret to getting massive value out of Codex straight from day one. You're not just, asking a machine a quick trivia question anymore. You're onboarding a brand new digital colleague.
And this team member mindset, it builds a completely new paradigm. Look, we're all used to traditional ChatGPT by now, right? You absolutely know the drill. Copying code snippets, pasting them over into a browser, praying it works, and then copying the fixed code back in your editor. It's exhausting. But Codex is fundamentally different. It's an agent that actually lives right inside your project directory. It can read your files, it understands the structure, and it makes direct file edits right there within your environment. No more copy-paste gymnastics.
So what's actually making this magic possible under the hood? It's GPT-5 Codex. Now, to be clear, this isn't just some general-purpose AI that happens to have read a Python book once. Not at all. It's a highly specialized language model trained specifically on real, gritty engineering tasks, complex workflows, and full-blown repository architectures. Because it's completely grounded in real-world software engineering, it has this incredibly deep awareness of your project's context. Basically, it understands what you're trying to do, not just the syntax you're using.
Okay, so how do we actually access this new teammate? Well, you've got 4 main entry points. If you're a terminal wizard, there's the command line interface. If you're running background tasks on GitHub, the cloud integration is your go-to. If you're already basically live inside VS Code or Cursor, the IDE extension is perfect. But, and this is absolutely crucial if you're just starting out, the official recommendation is the desktop app. For beginners, it's hands down the safest, most visual, and frankly, the most intuitive way to wrap your head around how an agent actually interacts with your codebase.
Let's quickly talk logistics and pricing, because this really dictates how you're going to use the tool. There's a free or Go tier at $8 a month, great for super lightweight tasks. Way up at the high end, you've got Pro plans running anywhere from $100 to $200 a month, and that's for heavy, fully autonomous app builds. But listen, for beginners who are just learning the ropes, the $20 a month Plus plan is the absolute sweet spot. It gives you exactly what you need for focused, meaningful coding sessions without constantly hitting those really frustrating usage limits.
All right, now before you rush off, open up the app and tell Codex to go build you the next Facebook. I need to ask you a critical question, and I want you to really think about this. What is the single most important word for a Codex beginner to learn? Seriously, what do you think it is?
The word is diff, D-I-F-F. Listen, when an AI agent is editing your actual files, you can never, ever just blindly accept a quick summary of what it did. No way. You have to review the diff, that exact line-by-line before and after change the AI is proposing. Reviewing the diff is your ultimate safety net. Literally, it's how you maintain total, uncompromising control over your entire codebase while still letting the AI do all the heavy lifting.
And that brings us right to what we call the golden beginner workflow. Please do not ask Codex to just build the whole app on day one. It's a recipe for disaster. Instead, you're going to follow this loop. First, ask it to read and inspect your project, get it up to speed. Second, use plan mode to have it propose a step-by-step strategy without changing a single line of code. Third, let it execute one small edit. And fourth, always verify the diff. This looping framework, this is exactly how you safely guide your new AI teammate.
To put that into perspective, let's look at a real-world example of why this matters so much. Imagine Codex is fixing a dark mode persistence bug in a React component. It needs to add an initialization check so your screen doesn't flash blind you bright white before the dark theme kicks in. By visually verifying the diff for that fix, you can see exactly how Codex is manipulating the browser's local storage and the document's class list. You aren't just trusting it blindly, you stay firmly in the driver's seat.
Now, to actually get those perfect diffs, we kind of have to rethink how we communicate. Good prompts, they are not long, rambling stories about what you want. They set strict scope, clear constraints, and definite success criteria. You've got to keep your instructions minimal. Give the AI a clear target and a defined finish line. And most importantly, Bake in verification. Tell Codex to run your linter or execute your unit tests so it can actually validate its own work before it even presents it to you. It's a real game changer.
Okay, but here's the thing. You definitely do not want to type out those same exact constraints every single time you open a new chat. That sounds miserable, and that's exactly where agents.md comes in. This is basically a simple, open markdown format that gives your AI durable memory about your project's specific conventions. It automatically loads your rules every single time, which means you get way more consistent edits, fewer annoying retries, and a significantly safer codebase overall.
And as your project grows, it's pretty cool how this works. These agents.md files actually stack and cascade. It's kind of like a giant set of nesting dolls. You can have a global file on your computer for your own personal defaults, then maybe a file at your project root for general repository rules. But let's say you have a highly specific payments microservice. You can just drop an override file deep in that specific directory. The rules closest to the file being edited always win out.
So what should you actually put inside these files? Think of it literally like an onboarding document for a human developer. You want to include your startup commands, your exact test and linting scripts, your code styling preferences, lists of directories it should absolutely never ever touch, pull request requirements, API compatibility rules, the whole shebang. Actually, a really great rule of thumb from our sources, if you find yourself having to remind Codex of something twice, it immediately belongs in agents.md.
Now, once you master those basics, you unlock some truly incredible advanced capabilities through something called MCP, or the Model Context Protocol. This is an open standard that basically connects Codex to your external tools and live databases outside of your local repository. And this is huge. MCP elevates Codex from being just a really smart file editor into a fully connected system operator. We're talking pulling live data, checking external API docs on the fly, or even interacting directly with your cloud infrastructure.
The potential of this connected system is just mind-blowing. For instance, think about GitHub Actions workflows utilizing Codex. You can configure it to automatically step in the second your continuous integration tests fail. It will literally read the error, pinpoint the root cause, write a fix, and automatically create a pull request to repair the broken build. All of this happening in the background, without a human developer having to manually intervene at all. I mean, that is the true power of an AI workflow operator. And it even integrates seamlessly into your team's communication. Picture a Slack thread where developers are banging their heads against the wall over a complex timeout bug during model training. Instead of dropping everything and context switching to fix it, they simply tag @Codex right there in the channel. Codex reads the thread, gathers the context, jumps into the codebase, fixes the timeout parameters, runs the tests, and reports back in Slack with a link to the completed task. It acts exactly like tagging in a human teammate for backup. All right, before we wrap this up, let's do a rapid-fire recap of the absolute beginner survival habits you must adopt today. Ready? Number 1, always start in plan mode so Codex can't touch your files until you agree on the strategy. Number 2, keep your tasks small and hyper-focused. Number 3, we said it before, we're going to say it again, check your diffs meticulously. And number 4, commit to Git frequently. You want to create lots of checkpoints so you can easily roll back if an AI experiment goes a little sideways. So we've covered the entry points, the golden workflow, setting up that durable memory with agents.md, and why verifying your diffs is absolutely crucial. You literally have the map to go from a manual coder to an advanced AI operator. So I'm going to leave you with this final exciting challenge. What are you going to build first with your brand new AI teammate? Seriously, go open the app, set up your project, and start operating your first workflow today. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer.